This is Francis. You know, say something to the crowd.
What's up?
He's drawing a quick Wolverine for us. Do you have any advice you think you give us, maybe to like get into business or anything like that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can go about it. You can go to a lot of. I went to a lot of conventions when I was younger and showed my portfolio to as many editors as I could. And you know, it's definitely something you still want to do now. But it seems like you can just put up a lot of your work online now, and someone will see it. You know. It's just a matter of being prolific and constantly producing new work, and just getting better.
Like, did you have a comic book that you published at first, or did you just do a lot of prints and sketches and stuff?
No, I didn't do prints or sketches. I did sequentials. You know,
oh, wow.
I mean, you're not going to get into comics doing pinups and sketches,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
So basically, I did samples for every company I was going after, right? You know, I mean, I didn't want to go to DC with Marvel samples and vice versa.
Of course.
So I had a set of samples that I would package together, right? So if I was giving it to DC, the front end would be DC sample and the rest is my other stuff.
Okay.
Right? And if I was giving it to Marvel, the front end would be Marvel stuff and the back end would be like
just like keep it
DC
categorized.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. You know.
Like myself, I have my own book that I'm working on right now.
Right.
And I'm not sure if I should self-publish, like maybe a small number and then send it to a bunch of companies, or wait until they do one of these portfolio show-offs.
Or you could put it online.
Right. Do a webcomic kind of deal.
And have it on there right away.
Right.
You know. I mean, right now, I almost feel like new artists are at a much higher advantage than we did when we were trying to break in.
Right.
You know.
Well, social media and all that stuff.
Right. So right now, it honestly feels like the question isn't how do I break in? It's how many different ways can I break in?
Right. And which way you should take. Right.
Exactly. And the thing is that says you can't try them all.
Right.
Right.
Because you have DeviantArt and like myself, I'm still learning like Photoshop and stuff like that, different tactics, because if you can't like color or do anything in Photoshop now, it seems like you're kind of behind in the game.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're, I would suggest focusing on one thing at first. You know, if you want to be a penciler, focus on that.
Right.
If you want to be a colorist, focus on that. You know,
yeah.
It's very rare that companies hire an all-in-one thing, mostly because they don't know how long that takes. They assume that guy that's all-in-one is going to take longer.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't start inking my work professionally until, I don't know, maybe like four or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Before that, it was 6 or so years of just doing pencils.
That's kind of where I'm at now too, because I met a colorist off DeviantArt who's from Hungary. She's coloring most of my stuff now.
Right.
And I can do basic flat colors, but mostly my stuff's just pencils and writing my own stuff. So.
Yeah. I mean, I would suggest just focusing on one particular practice at first and then get better at that. Because when you're trying to learn too many things, you end up spreading yourself too thin.
Right.
You know, especially since if you're still learning, right, the last thing you want is to be counterproductive to what you're doing.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
well,